I did not kill Roberta Laws. I did not bury Roberta Laws. I was also a victim of Kenneth McBride. He didn't even tell me his real name. I didn't learn his real name until after she was dead. I thought his name was Brian. I thought he was in his 20s like I was. I thought he loved me and was going to take care of me. It was a catfish that turned extremely deadly. When y'all say that I'm not a victim, you're forgetting that Kenneth McBride catfished me into this situation. That he contacted me. I was on Craigslist and I was honest about my situation. And he contacted me. And then after we broke up, he contacted me again and manipulated me to think that it was somebody else and that he was truly struggling with this situation. I didn't know who he was. I didn't know anything. Because he lied about everything. So yes, I was actually a victim of Kenneth McBride. You don't get to do things like this to people and just remain innocent. Like, y'all want to tell people that I'm the one that killed Roberta. I didn't. I didn't intentionally go into a relationship with somebody that had a girlfriend. I didn't intentionally go into a relationship with somebody who lied to me about everything. I didn't intentionally do any of it. I was catfished and manipulated and led into a very dangerous situation where I myself almost died. If you have evidence to the contrary, you should take it to the police, instead of constantly telling everybody else that I did this when I didn't. I was a victim of Kenneth McBride. I was a catfishing victim. And then I was held captive until I escaped and went to the police. I am not the perpetrator of the crime. The reason he lied to me about his name is because he was already a sex offender. So if this man never makes his own choices and it's always somebody else making him do things, what made him offend a child? What made him molest that child? Are you going to have some sort of justification for that so that he's not guilty of that too? Long before he met me, he molested children. What he planned to do, what he did, he was going to do. Whether I was involved or not, he was going to do what he did. If I had stayed broken up with him, he would have found another woman. And then gone and done what he did. Because it was what he was doing. It was what he was planning. He was online lying to people, trying to manipulate somebody into the household. He knew what he was doing. I had no idea. I'm still not mentally capable of knowing what's real and what's not when it comes to whether people are talking to me, telling me things. It doesn't help that my own aunt lies constantly about me. How am I supposed to trust people? How am I supposed to learn to trust other human beings? I can't even trust my own family. My own aunt visited my little brother's grave with apple juice to fulfill a fundraiser by Adonis Paul to urinate on my brother's grave. That's my family. That's how abusive my family is and always has been. I was raised like that. Raised to feel that I was nothing. Not lovable, not anything at all. And my only hope in life was to grab a man and hold on. And after I left my husband, I was even more broken. And Kenneth McBride honed right in on that. I was 22 years old. I was mentally unwell. And since then, a lot has changed. I'm not desperate to be in relationships anymore. I've been single for years because I know that it's not safe for me to be in a relationship since I have so many trust issues, obsessive issues. People get obsessed with me. And I've tried to warn people of this, and they always say that I'm making things up, and then they get obsessed with me. I take medication now. I'm in therapy now. These were things that I was on medication back in 2008, but it was the wrong medication because they had me misdiagnosed. Because my childhood trauma had not been revealed yet, and they were diagnosing my PTSD symptoms as schizophrenia when it was PTSD with bipolar. So I was being medicated for schizophrenia. I wasn't in the right mind. And I'm working to get myself to the right mind. And while I'm doing that, people are constantly telling me that I should just kill myself, that they're gonna put me in jail for this crime that I was a victim of. If these channels that told the story were telling it accurately, nobody would be threatening to put me in jail. Because it would be well known that this case is over, that it's been tried, that he pled guilty, he pled principle, responsibility, that you can't just try a second person in a one-person case. You can't do it. It just doesn't, it's not how it works. He did what he did, and he confessed to what he did, and he's in jail for what he did because he was tried for what he did, because there was an investigation into what he did. And you have all of the records. If you have anything that is not in those public records, you should take it to the police. But if all you have is the public records, you should be aware that that case is already closed and what you have is well known. If I was going to go to jail, I would have a long time ago. And no, I didn't get off because I turned him in, or I turned state witness, or I pled a deal. As far as I know, I did not plead any deals. I never had a lawyer. I was never arrested. It was not what you think it was. But you're going to keep threatening and telling everybody what you think it was when you weren't there and you don't understand, and all you want is to make me kill myself. To break me down to the point that I can't live anymore. For a crime that I did not commit. Kenneth McBride murdered Roberta Laws. Kenneth McBride catfished me. Kenneth McBride held me captive. Kenneth McBride was a sex offender. Kenneth McBride is in prison. All of this has already been done years ago. And it wasn't done by me. And the investigation already found that.